Welcome to episode 34 of the Find Your Voice podcast. My name is Freya Casey. I'm a professional singer and vocal coach, but I'm also extremely passionate when it comes to personal development, personal growth. I've been on this journey for probably the past 10, 11 years. And I told that story last time in last episode. If you have not listened to it, you may want to go back. Episode 33, where I talk about how I found myself basically with nothing, having to take care of a child, promising to myself that I'm never going to rely on anyone else, but that I'm the one 100% responsible for all the actions that I take and all the outcomes. But today, I started that personal growth journey back then when I promised to myself, okay, I'm going to educate myself. This can never happen again. That I'll sit here and I have no money and I can't buy my bills because I was trying to rely on someone to be there and then they ended up not being there. So I have this journey behind me that I can look back and growing my business and becoming a single mom by choice again of twins after having one older daughter. Those are all things that, they were sort of scary and there was a lot of process involved and work involved. And, I talked about it last time too, like becoming a paperwork ninja is really how you get a lot done, getting very organized in order to get productive. It's not just about taking any action. It's about taking the right actions and kind of having a good overview any time of the day, or like any day you could just look at all the projects that you have going on in your life. That does not just include projects for work, but like a lot of things are just, I look at them as projects. It's all about staying organized. But here's the thing that I have learned. The times when I was the most creative and the most productive were those times when I took a break and I stepped away from everything for a little bit. So every time when I go for a walk, and I really want to get back into this habit for the past more than 2 years probably. The twins turned 2 last month. Whenever they were born, and maybe even just a few weeks before that, I stopped going for my daily long walks. And I used to do this every single day, going for a walk with my dog, of course. That dog has sadly since passed away, our Fatty. He was 12 years old, but we have a new dog now. But I always, every single morning when my daughter would go off to school, I went for a walk with him or for a run. A lot of times I would run, but there's a big difference between going for a walk or a run, the way my brain works and the way I think. So a lot of times I would listen to podcasts, and while I listened to podcasts or audiobooks, everything that I listened to, my brain kind of went to work. And always, I always asked myself, like, what does that mean for me? What does it mean in my business? And it gave me a lot of ideas and just sparked a lot of creativity just listening to things. Or listening to the recording of the meetings of our mastermind group or something like that. That always sparks ideas when I listen to that again while I go for a walk. Even when I do housework, that is non-focused work. So you can always do something focused and something non-focused. So like doing the dishes and doing the laundry, folding the laundry, that is not anything I need my full brain power for. So I can do something else and listen to an audiobook or a podcast, and my brain goes to work. And here's something really interesting. There was a study, and they actually found out that when you take a break, when you take a rest, right after you've done something, for example, you just got work done, or you did a project, you did something. It's when you take a break, when your brain consolidates what you just did and learned, and it goes to work by kind of summarizing and consolidating and going through it in high speed. And that's really how you get more productive, because your brain, it's almost like it's repeating what you just did, except it's doing it in a much more efficient way. It's reviewing, but it's compressing all this information. So taking a short break, even of a few minutes after you did something, or when you feel like, okay, like I have this sometimes. I try to do so many things. I'm like, what? I'm overwhelmed. It's like, okay, I want to do this, and this is my to-do list. The best way to really get the best actions and the most important things done is for me to step out for even just 5 minutes, or to lie down. Sometimes I would just meditate for a few minutes and then come back. And during that meditation, I get so clear. Everything gets organized in my brain. I feel so much better. When I sit in front of the screen, I see so much stuff going on and there's clutter, and I start getting sidetracked because I want to do so many things all at once. When I step back and I actually take a break, that is when I have this epiphany of, oh, this is what I need to do right now. And this is how I'm going to do it. Another example is not just taking a short break, but actually taking a longer break, like stepping away from everything for quite a while. So I was forced to step away from everything. After the twins were born, I was like, it was overwhelmed. I did not sleep at all for days and even weeks. And I would say for several months, I didn't get much sleep, like maybe 3-4 hours. I was probably up 10 times every single night, because when it's 2 babies, it's crazy. The first year. Then it got a little bit better. Now they usually sleep through the night, except the past 3 nights. Again, it's like they're 2 years old. Baby boy wakes up and like, mama, mama. I don't know, he's dreaming or something. But anyway, there's this time that I had where I just didn't really get to work. So all those times when I was up at night, my brain went to work. So during that time, during those months, weeks and months when I didn't really have the time to even get any, sit in front of my screen and get anything done. I mean, I still did things with my laptop as I was like breastfeeding and nursing my babies. I tried to get things done, but it's really during that time that I got so clear about a lot of things. And that's when I got clear about, okay, I've got to join another mastermind again. And then I joined a mastermind, and that's really what a lot of the programs that I even have now were created back then. Like my brain came up with those ideas back then because I saw my fellow mastermind members, my mates there. Back then it was all women, but that sparked a lot of ideas. And I started the online singing school, and I started my vocal mastery lab and revamped a lot of the things that I did. And I redid my entire website. I did new lead magnets. I made it more, much clearer, the message that I have. Then I decided shortly thereafter, I need to get some coaching. So then I hired my coach, which, that went on for more than a year. And now I'm actually in his mastermind group. So I switched from one-on-one coaching to mastermind group because we have a weekly meeting instead of the monthly one-on-one meeting. So there's always pros and cons to all of that. But the most breakthroughs happened when I stepped away. It's because your brain has better organization when you're not in the middle of it. It's like, when you're in the forest, you don't see the trees for the forest, or the forest for the trees, whatever it's called. It's because there's so much around you and so many details that you're involved in and so many details that you try to focus on. Then it's really hard to see the big picture, and only stepping away and looking at everything from a distance will help you see the big pictures. That's why as a CEO, you should have not so much, basically what you want to do is you want to fire yourself from as many tasks as possible that don't require you to be there. If anyone else can do this, and if it's not your domain, then you should not do it. I just was recently listening to quite a few episodes of Dave Ramsey's EntreLeadership podcast, and he talked about the only thing that he does nowadays, if anything is new or there's a problem or there needs to be a change, that's what he's involved in. But everything else he's not involved in. So you want to create systems so that, you need to document, how do I do this thing that I always used to do, but that I don't need to do anymore? Document it. I have this for my team. I have like SOPs, standard operating procedures, and we have in Notion also, we have this document where you can look at all the details. Like the more detailed you can be, and that's something I'm still working on right now, the more detailed you can be about how to do something, the more likely it is that pretty much anyone could get it done. So, of course, teaching voice lessons, that's nothing that my team can do because I have that education, I have that background, I have that experience. But uploading my videos on YouTube and creating thumbnails and creating landing pages and sales pages and offers and social media posts, those are things that if we establish the way we want it done and we, record all the steps that are required, pretty much anyone could do it. Even graphic design, if you give everyone like, these are the colors and these are the fonts we're using and here are the rules, the header always needs to be this size and the subheader needs to be that size, and I give you the name of the thumbnail and what's on the thumbnail, and then you do a cutout of me and you do remove the background and then you put it on the right side and then you put the captions on the left side. Those are all standard operating procedures to where you are freeing yourself up and everyone else can do it, so that you have that time and that space to utilize your brain power for like doing the growth, the big picture, the vision that you have long term. And my goal is to have every single year in August to take that entire month off for a sabbatical from getting anything done work related, meaning I don't sit in my office, I don't do the things. So the good thing is for my YouTube videos, for example, I can work ahead of time, I can record those and batch record those. I just got through recording a few, and this is one that I'm recording right now. My team does everything. Literally for that process, they don't need me. All I need is give them the video files, the audio files, and like everything that's involved in there. Tell them like what's the header, what's the title, what do I want, who's the sponsor? Because for my main channel, we have sponsors, we have a CTA. Maybe I will mention my newsletter so that people can sign up for it, or one of the free downloads that I have, tons of free stuff that I have. And I will mention something, and it's all in a table, and I don't need to do anything. I just need to put all that information in that table, and then my team takes over and it just magically appears like on all the platforms. That means I could easily take off in August, and that is the plan for this year, take the entire month off, work ahead on like content and all that. And even we could launch things in my absence, because if I create standard operating procedures, we could do a launch so that in September, beginning of September, when I get back to work, I could start a new program with a new cohort of, singers who want to start this. So take a break. It's so important. We always think that we can only get things done when we get things done, like doing actively. But I find just the thinking time, and I have a lot of that, because literally when the twins are like around and I have to watch them, it's like there are things I can't get done. Like I can't walk outside tons of times. Like Kate, I can't even take the trash out, literally, because they cry when I leave the room, and then it's a big drama. And in our house, I have to like walk down the stairs and then go out in the back, and I literally cannot take the trash out when they're around. A lot of the time is spent sitting there with them, playing. But while I do that, I do listen to a lot of audiobooks and podcasts. And that's when my brain goes to work a lot. A lot of the time when I'm just in the afternoon, I'm about in 30 minutes, I'm taking off work, and then that's it for this week. It's the weekend. That's when I get a lot of thinking time done. And right now I'm in the process of, because we do want to move to the United States in 2026. I don't know yet. Like I need more time because, for example, that was it EB2NIW application, all that paperwork to get that green card, to apply for that green card for extraordinary individuals like who in their field, which I feel like I have a good case that in my field, I'm very good at what I do in my, vocal coaching, singing, and all that. That's a lot of not just thinking, but really thinking in front of a screen and looking at paperwork and finding all the documentation for that. But even while I was like just in the afternoons with the twins and with my kids, I always talk about the twins. I have an older daughter. It's not like I don't do anything with her, but she is so independent by now. She wants to spend time with her friends. So it's not like I'm entertaining her anymore. No, she doesn't want to. She wants to I'll go to my room, and everyone, she doesn't want to be around too much when the twins are there because it's a lot of work. Because they're always hanging on everybody. I just don't want to get this impression that I always talk about the twins and never about my older daughter. It's because, we do a lot of stuff together as a family, but on a day-to-day, she's very independent. I'll cook and she'll eat with us, but then okay, I'll go to my room. And it's like almost 12 years old, and She talks, she calls her friends. She's on the phone with her friends for a long time every day. And then she plays games. She has to do maybe some school stuff sometimes. And that's what I help her with sometimes if I can, which math is getting really difficult nowadays. Like, I don't know, 6th grade math. Most of the stuff I still know how to do, but I know it's gonna come the time when I'm like, oops, I don't remember this. And like formulas and all this stuff. I don't remember all that. So yeah, it's just amazing how your brain works and how just giving yourself some white space and allowing yourself not to be anxious of like, oh, I gotta get more done. You actually do get more done when you step away and you take a break. So do something for yourself that gives you space to do nothing. Maybe just sit there and meditate, go for a walk. For me, it's walking is so, like running is different. When I run, I can listen to audiobooks and podcasts, but my brain works different because it takes a lot of energy to run. And I feel like all the blood flow, it goes into my body and the brain doesn't get as much. But when I just go for a walk, especially through the forest, through like a beautiful area, and it's been very drab outside. I'm so looking forward to the time when everything's green again and everything is beautiful. Blue skies, green leaves on the trees, which right now it's just so all gray and brown. That is inspirational. And that to me, it just makes me grateful and makes me see the big picture. So give yourself space. And I hope you don't stop dreaming big. Take these little actions every single day and check out my website. I have revamped a few things, findyourvoice.tv. And yes, that mastermind group is open. If you want to surround yourself with high achievers, like people who want it all in life, they want to, like me, I want to have another child and I want to go to the United States and, immigrate there. And I want to keep my business going and continue to grow my business. I mean, it's at 6 figures and I want to actually go beyond that, multiple 6 figures and maybe 7 figures one day. I want it all. And I want to still get my body in the best shape of my life, which after I have my 4th baby and I get any space, I'm totally in it. I am in it now, but since I want to get pregnant again, it's not, like as soon as I get pregnant, I'm going to have to stop doing really heavy stuff. But I want it all. And if you want to surround yourself with individuals and me who believe very strongly that it's really only up to you. You are the creator of everything. You can create whatever you want to create. I absolutely believe it. I have seen it over and over again in the actions that I take. If I have a plan and I just work the steps, I get to the goal. And so far, most of what I've ever wanted, I have gotten there. Now, it may have taken time. But you will accelerate it when you surround yourself with individuals who all have an input. They all can chime in and support you. Makes a huge, huge difference. Check out my website, the Find Your Voice High Achievers Mastermind. And until next time, always keep dreaming big because dreams do come true. And above my bed, it says, in big letters, I have it on my wall. A winner is a dreamer who never gives up. And I think about this every single day. I will not give up. And I will win. Bye. See you next time.